Just waiting for the camera to focus. Hello, and welcome back, everyone, to the Sword of Mercury. So today, got the tappy marker here. Today, we're going to be looking at pre-workout. So, I know this is a pretty popular concept in the health field, and this is why I'm actually going over it. Let me just move some of this stuff out of the way. I don't need the phone here. Get out of here, phone. Except for those of you who are watching on their phone. Good phone. In any case, I'm going over basically the key to pre here. Like, I'm thinking of naming that actually the video or whatever. But essentially going over the basis of pre-workout. And if you do not want to buy pre-workout, this is like the video you want to watch. Because essentially I'm going over what constitutes basically the key parts of a pre-workout, and that you don't actually need to go buy like $40, $50 supplements, which have artificial flavors and whatnot, just so you can go to the gym. Like, this is ridiculous. So I'm going to give you the key to pre here. In essence, I'm going over the two main things that constitute pre-workout, or in my opinion, the only two valuable ones. And that is caffeine and theanine. So these two really work together quite well, and I'm going to be explaining basically what each of these are. So here on one side, caffeine's in things like coffee, energy drinks, some teas. It's in a lot of other things, but I'm not going to go too much in depth. It's in like me, I drink I don't drink this like religiously, but typically when I'm like making content like I'm doing now, I'll drink like Monster Energy or something like that, and like obviously it has caffeine in it, but I'll usually also drink tea at the same time because that has theanine, which, as you can see here, white tea, green tea, these type of teas have theanine, and theanine is what leads to that calming effect of tea that tea has. So caffeine, we'll look at some of the pros and cons here, and then we'll get into how this, we'll get into the pros and cons of this, and then how that translates into the pre-workout. So pros, obviously we can see here, high energy, temporary energy, quick boost, alertness, healthy in moderation. Cons, fast energy, energy crash, imbalanced energy, anxiety, addictive, excess. So we'll look at these one by one. So high energy is obviously a pro. You get that immediate boost that gives you that kick to either do your workout or start the day or whatever it is. But it is fast release, so it comes very fast and it goes very fast. Temporary energy, that really relates into the second point, where it doesn't last the whole day or anything like that. So typically you get these big spikes of energy if you were to draw out your energy throughout the day on a graph, like a line graph or something. Energy crash. So this is a big thing with caffeine, that you get these energy crashes from people who like take it constantly, like people who are like using it once in a while, like me. You don't get any of these effects, right? Because you're not relying on that supplement to have your energy be in balance, right? So energy crash is a big one, and I'll get into some of the other aspects of that as we go down the list. Quick boost of energy, as I said, quick boost, it is something that now you have the energy, okay, yeah, I feel invigorated to go do whatever I need to get done. But imbalanced energy, meaning that energy is not coming from a natural source. What's actually going on in your body is it's not making you more awake. You're not, oh, I don't need to go to sleep now. It's blocking your your body's ability to, basically realize that it needs to go to sleep. So it's not that you're not tired anymore, it's that you're tired, but you do not feel that you're tired. That's what's going on. So all the detriments you have from not sleeping or not having that natural energy, you still do not have that. What's going on is essentially receptors in which caffeine binds to. I can't think of the name right now, but something that starts with A. And essentially these receptors that are in your body, basically, like, what happens is they're free throughout the day, but as you get more tired, things bind to them, and that makes you sleepy. It tells your body, hey, it's time to go to sleep, blah, blah, blah. But what happens with caffeine is you take caffeine and it binds to those receptors in place of that which would bind to the receptor that your body naturally creates as it needs to go to sleep. So basically, it takes the place. It's almost like charging your phone, in a sense. In some sense, it's almost like basically, when you are getting tired, your phone battery's low. You need to plug it in, right? And typically, you would plug your phone in and let it charge, right? But what is happening with caffeine is, instead of like paying attention to that low battery signal, it's basically giving you an extra, like, like short amount of time to use your phone for, like basically stretching that last like percentage on your phone, and letting the caffeine plug into like the charging port instead, to basically convince your body that, hey, it's getting the charging or something like that, but it's not actually getting the charging. So essentially, maybe I'll just draw it out. It's not really that complicated. It's just hard to elaborate on verbally, or challenging to elaborate on verbally. So let's spin around here and I'll illustrate. So let's say that, like, let's say this is like the reservoir that like all these things bind to, right? The receptor. So we'll just have R for receptor. And then, like, basically you have, like, when you're getting sleepy, let's just say S, like sleep, like all of these sleeps that are going to bind to the receptor typically. But what caffeine does is it comes in here and takes the spot of the receptor instead, so it blocks sleep from binding to the receptor immediately. So caffeine binds to the receptor instead, and what that does is it convinces your body that it's not tired, even though it is. It still needs the same amount of repair time. It still needs the same amount of sleep. It might even need more sleep now that you've delayed it. But essentially, that's what it's doing. Caffeine is taking the spot in the receptor so that it makes you feel not tired. So like I said, stretching that last percentage or couple percentage on your phone battery is the analogy I made. So, quick boost, but imbalanced energy, because you're pushing that time back on the charging that you need. Alertness is the next one. It does make you alert. It's not a very grounded alertness, though, which is why sometimes you get anxiety as the con, right? It's healthy in moderation, actually. It's shown to prevent things like ED, erectile dysfunction, or, in long term, promoting things like blood flow is basically the way that it does this. So in moderation, it can be healthy. And, obviously it is shown in studies sometimes, like, people who take caffeine or consume caffeine actually live longer. And I assume why is that it's just filtering out the stuff in your body by speeding up the circulation. Again, you can probably get the same thing from just doing a workout, right, without the caffeine. But in essence, that's the thing, it's speeding up the blood flow, which is related to those health benefits. So healthy in moderation, addictive in excess. This is the condition that a lot of guys have going to the gym. They're taking like 3-4 scoops of pre-workout when they started taking 1, but they haven't cycled off, so they keep taking more and more and more. The bad thing about this is that it's not that you are, it's not that, like, you're still, how should I say this? It's not that like 4 scoops is like now the baseline that you need. No, that's not what's going on. What's going on is that you're numbed to that other 400 milligrams of caffeine, which is why you need 600 instead of 200. If those of you who don't know, 200 is about the amount of a normal coffee. So like maybe 1 scoop of pre-workout is like 200 milligrams, let's just say. So now you're taking 600 when you start taking 2, but it's because you've become addicted and you haven't cycled off. That's why they say cycle off the pre-workout. Why? It's because you're not feeling it anymore. You've become desensitized to it. It's just like jerking off. When you've been doing it for so long, you become desensitized and then it warps your view on reality. Same thing goes for the biology of the body in relation to caffeine. It's not that you're like, oh yeah, I'm whatever, I'm in condition so that I need 3 scoops of pre-workout now. No, it's that you're not feeling the other 2 scoops, and it's dangerous actually, because your heart still basically perceives that as like your heart is still registering, oh, that's 600 milligrams in its totality, so it's working harder than it would have taken the 200, right? So essentially what I'm saying is the stress on your body is increased even more, and like basically like it's worse than where you started taking the pre-workout, where it was just 200 and you take that and go do your workout. Now you need 3 scoops of pre-workout, 600 milligrams of caffeine to get to that same place. That's not good. That's bad, to clarify. So what you need to do is you need to cycle off and let your receptors go back to normal. And yeah, people say, like, again, this is something that I was going to talk about in relation to the imbalanced energy, is that essentially you have this almost like addictive aspect of you now that, translates into things like headache and stuff when you're not drinking coffee anymore or taking pre-workout or whatever. And that's not normal. You need to be able to function without this stuff. If you consider yourself a strong individual and what you go to do at the gym actually has meaning for you in terms of developing your strength from your strength and willpower alone, you cannot be beholden to some stupid little supplement. That's ridiculous. And anybody who's like a true warrior or fighter when they go to the gym should know this. I shouldn't need to explain this, but in any way I'll just say it. So drop the addictive aspect, cycle off your damn pre-workout, cycle off your coffee, whatever it is, and go back to it in like a couple weeks time when you've let your body have a chance to adjust. If you need pre-workout or coffee or something like that to go to the gym, your headspace is wrong, man. You need to like do some self-reflecting and actually like internalize like, hey, what is actually making me motivated or have the willpower to go to the gym? If it's because of this supplement, then like I'm not like truly reaching my potential as somebody who is attempting to bring out that fullest potential version of myself. So just reflect on those things, right? I'm not saying that you're not a warrior anymore because you've become addicted to pre-workout. I'm saying that you need to do some reflection and get back to who you're supposed to be. The person who can basically fuel themselves without any of this garbage, right? So I'm not saying this stuff is not helpful. I'm saying that you can't be beholden to it. Makes sense? Again, I want you guys to be strong on your own. I want you guys to be that perfect version of yourself. I want you guys to reach your fullest potential, and you can only do that when you accept that you cannot be beholden to any things that you take externally. Use them, by all means. Do not become dependent on them. Oh, if I don't have my pre-workout today, I can't go to the gym. I'm not gonna even, comment on a statement as dumb as that, but in essence, that's pretty self-explanatory how my opinion is on that. In essence, those are your pros and cons of caffeine. Caffeine can have benefits. Use it wisely. Theanine. Good thing about theanine, there's almost no cons. creates a more harmonious environment. Next one, harmonizes. So same kind of thing, right? Subtle high slash bliss. This is why people like drinking tea. If you ever watch Avatar: The Last Airbender as a kid, gives you some insight into Uncle Iroh. Why is he always like drinking teas? Because he's drinking so much tea, he's subtly blasting off, but not blasting off as in a, like, drug trip or whatever, but just enough to get him in a objective state of reality where he can see things clearly. He has clarity of vision. He has wisdom and insight that other characters do not have. It's not because of the tea, but the tea helps him cultivate that state of consciousness that he has, lets it flourish to its full potential. Like I said, that you can use caffeine in that way too. Concentration, so it promotes concentration and focus by providing you that objectivity and relaxation, right? So the thing is that if you use these two together, and you don't need pre-workout to do this, yes, theanine is in some pre-workout. You do not need pre-workout to get theanine. If you have caffeine, if you drink a coffee and you drink a tea, same benefits. If you drink an energy drink and you drink a tea, same benefits. Thing is, caffeine and theanine together balance a lot of the qualities out, because you get the high energy and you get in a more relaxed and stabilized way, and you don't have the jitters or anxiety, because the calming effect of theanine is negating those aspects. So they really relate to an overall balancing effect here. That's important. So again, this is the pretty much overall breakdown, and I cannot stress this enough, that you need to be aware of how often you use pre-workout. If you're going to the gym and you're using pre-workout every day to just get the workout done, you need to do some self-reflection, cycle off that, and really evaluate what is the driving factor that is giving me the energy to reach a new level. Is it because I'm transforming myself into a higher version of myself and becoming a more capable individual, or is it because I'm getting wired up like I would from some drug before I go do a workout and I need to burn the energy? If you reflect on that question to yourself, this is not something you need to answer to me, this is something you need to reflect on to yourself, and you say that it's I can use this in moderation and reach those peaks and not be beholden to that thing, you're on the right path. In my opinion, this is just my opinion, if you have any perspective that is not that, you really need to evaluate why you're going to the gym and what is driving your progression. I'm not saying you cannot use these every once in a while. I'm not saying that you can't even use it for a week straight or whatever. But I'm saying that you need to be prepared to do the workout, do the exercise, put in that work without that present. Because there might just come a time when that is not available to you for whatever reason. And if you do not learn how to get on without it, you're going to push up against walls and glass ceilings, which is what I teach you to overcome here. So I'm teaching you to do this ahead of time here. Do not become beholden to it. Yes, it has benefits. Don't take advantage of it. It's just like THC or weed or any other plant or herbal medicine. If you overutilize it, and you abuse it, the plant or whatever you're using will abuse you back. So the thing is, use it only as needed, or simply be conscious of how you use it. If you're taking 3 scoops of pre-workout, 600 milligrams every workout, and you're not cycling off, you need to fix yourself, buddy. I say that unapologetically. So again, this is my video for today. If you guys enjoyed this, you guys felt that this resonated with you, I encourage you to like and subscribe, hit the bell notification, leave a comment about what you enjoyed. Again, quick pre-workout. The key to pre here is take these independently from one another. If you don't want to drink an energy drink or drink coffee before your workout because you don't like how it case. You can get little caffeine pills that you use for pre-workout or for fast energy, and then drink some tea with it. Then boom, you're good, right? But again, don't be beholden to that either. So again, I can't stress that point enough. Do not be beholden to any of these things I'm talking about here. Take them as you need. If you're feeling low energy one day, sure, go ahead. But if you're feeling low energy every day, then there's something that you should be reflecting on and saying, how do I increase my energy naturally? How do I remove the blocks that are taking energy from my reservoir that I use to go to the gym? And again, if you become dependent on this, you're not like building strength or building that willpower, building that endurance. The only thing you're doing is pushing off that weakness for a later version of you to deal with, because there will come a time when either that caffeine, that pre-workout is not hitting you because you've taken so much of it and become numb to it, or you're gonna suffer the effects of not taking it. So like headache, drowsiness, fatigue, irritability. I didn't put these on the cons list just because it's more from the cons of not taking it rather than taking it. But essentially, there you go. In essence, that's been my video today. Again, I always encourage you guys to build your own strength, get strong with your own willpower alone. I say this in pretty much every video, so pay attention to that because it's very valuable. In my opinion, most valuable thing that you will acquire from this channel. Get strong with your own willpower alone. That's all you need. I believe in you guys. Never doubt that. I want you guys to become the version of yourself that you want to be. I want you guys to get everything you want out of life. I would not be sitting here making this video right now if I did not. And the reason is, and you can say this is selfish, you can say it's not selfish, but it's because you guys are on my side in the fight. You guys are watching my videos, you guys are liking my content, you guys are supporting what I'm watching, so of course I want you guys to be on the right path and develop yourself and become as strong as possible, and do that with your own willpower alone, because that's the way I go to the gym. I'm only talking to you guys as I would talk to myself. So again, if you're interested, follow me on Instagram at top_sorcerer, prince_of_mercury. Also, check out my other podcast, Moonstruck. As always, I will link all my links in the description below. It has just got picked up by Rogers TV, so I will be sharing the link with you guys coming soon. If it's not in the description already, I will be creating a new podcast because Moonstruck is coming to an end. And I will be, I'm still, deciding on the name, but it will be on fitness. It will be fitness focused, on health and wellness and stuff like that, all these kind of concepts. So if you want to encourage me to make more content on that, or see more videos relating to fitness in the future, comment fitness in the description, in the comment section below. As always, I love you guys. Thank you so much for your support and watching to the end. And yeah, I believe that's everything I have for you guys. And I made sure to leave those tips to the end as always, because if you guys have stuck around to the end, that means you guys deserve this information. Like little tips like taking caffeine pills, drinking a tea, as opposed to spending $40 on pre-workout. In essence, though, yeah, I fully support you guys. You guys can do it. I believe in you. Never doubt that I believe in you and that you can do it, because I know you can. The fact that you're here watching this video means that you want to be better, means that you're on the path to personal development and self-expression, means that you're ready to do what other people are not prepared to do. And it's something as simple as watching an ASMR video that teaches you subtle tips about how to improve your life. That's all that's really required. Making little changes that you implement day after day. So, again, you guys got this. I believe in you. Again, all my links in the description below. This has been the Prince Prince of the Sword of Mercury, brought to you by the Prince of Mercury. And I will see you guys in the next video.